from like my perspective, I've seen my dad, and he was very like, you can see from the videos from 2014 before he started going low carb and everything, he was carrying about 50 extra pounds.
Right.
And he didn't exercise. And he didn't have enough energy to exercise.
That's not
but
true.
But it didn't look
that's
like
not true.
that.
That's not true. He just didn't do it.
No, I don't believe that.
But when you say he didn't have enough energy to exercise, did he walk around?
Well, yeah,
Did
but
he
you can
walk to-
drag yourself through things.
And you can drag yourself through an exercise routine. You can. Oh, you most certainly can. You most certainly can. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to do something. You walk up hills. You jump a little rope. You take a little tiny kettlebell. You do a couple cleans and presses. You do a few push-ups. You do a few sit-ups. You get your blood pumping. You're moving. You're alive. You're exercising. To say you don't have enough extra energy to exercise, that's crazy. Can you walk to the refrigerator? Then you can exercise. I'm not saying that you have to run marathons. You can exercise, and everyone should fucking exercise.
Hi everyone, so this is gonna be a different type of video. It's gonna be like a more chilled out type of video, you know, like I'm just having a conversation with you. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learn something, and I hope you gain something of value from this. And yeah, enjoy. Yeah, get yourself a cup of tea or coffee and enjoy. I'll try to keep it as unfiltered as possible. So the topic is whether exercise is really necessary or not. This is something that I've come across on Instagram. Even you might have seen this. People like Joe Rogan talking about this, and a lot of talking about why exercise is a necessity, why you should exercise. So I'll be covering my thought on it. So basically, we would, if you like take the world as a whole, there would be like people who exercise and people who don't exercise. Firstly, if we talk about people who exercise, that would be because of mainly, I would say, people who exercise, they do exercise because they see it as a necessity. So they want it bad enough. If you like want something, you will somehow find a way to do it. So the main reasons why people do see it as necessary, according to what I see, I would say the number one reason would be to feel good and to look good. That's why most of the people, I feel, start working out. So when we talk about looking good, pretty straightforward. Yeah, you know, people would normally, you see all these transformation videos online. People wanna, they wanna look better because either it's for social validation or just, to get into a relationship or to like feel better about themselves, to stand out in a crowd, to just to better themselves, just to become like a more alpha version of themselves. So those two, I feel, are closely correlated, looking better and feeling better. That I would say is the number one reason why people find working out as a necessity. Secondly, I would say about mental health. So people, either they feel like either they might be feeling depressed, or they might be feeling anxious, or they might be having really low self-esteem. So in that case, people could opt for working out, actually exercising, and it's actually scientifically proven. It's not just something I'm saying. It's something that's scientifically proven that exercising really helps boost mental health, and it's like a natural antidepressant and something that can really help people get out of anxiety and depression, so like mental disorders like that. Then thirdly, I would say people, because it's a healthy thing to do, because of health. So people would exercise because of health concerning, because of things concerning their health. So I would say normally this would be among majority would be among older people and people who are obese and trying to lose weight. So because they have come to a realization that their health is not in good terms, so they have to exercise. But I would say, talking about the general general adolescent, like someone like our age, majority of them wouldn't really put health as a number one priority. It would be mostly to look better and feel better. But there is also that health aspect, I would say, mainly between the older people and people who are like morbidly obese or having life-threatening health conditions, and really find the necessity to work out because of that. Then fourthly, I would say, fifthly, I would say people would exercise because it's a hobby. Like it's a really cool hobby to have. So people find the necessity to exercise because because they see it as a hobby, something of relaxation, something that you can do in your free time to just clear your mind. And yeah, those are the things. So those people who exercise really, see it as a necessity. Alright, then talking about people who don't exercise, I would say the number one reason why they don't exercise is because they see it as necessity, but they fear judgment. They fear that people would judge them for actually exercising, actually working out. And secondly, I would say also there's also another group of people who would see it as a necessity, but they don't have enough drive in order to get it done. And thirdly, I would say they simply don't see it as a necessity. Like, they'd rather Netflix and chill than go and, put yourself through hell. That's how certain people would see it, they're like, that's completely acceptable. You don't see it as a necessity, why would you do it? According to Google, it says that as to reasons why people don't work out, if you just Google this, like, why don't people work out, it would say because it would say the one of the biggest reasons why people don't exercise is because because people don't have the time to exercise. Then it says people don't enjoy exercising. Then it says people keep quitting and they can't afford a gym membership. Then not seeing changes in the body, tired and soreness, and cannot commit to a workout. Actually, I would say that these are all of these could be grouped into not seeing the necessity to work out. Like, if you really see the necessity, then you would somehow find a way to work out, somehow find a way to get the thing done. So yeah, I would say that's totally the thing. Like, if saying that time, that you don't have time, that simply means that you don't keep it as a priority. Like, it's not something that you want really bad. So that's basically it. You don't see it as a necessity. So basically, people see it as a necessity, but they fear judgment. People see it as a necessity, but they don't have enough drive. And people simply don't see it as a necessity. I would say are the three reasons why people don't work out. Alright, so actually, going to the topic of this video, is exercise really necessary? Yes, I would say yes, exercise is necessary. So like when I say like exercise is really necessary, what do I really mean? Like, if you really talk about exercise, what people really refer to as exercise, or like working out, is formal exercise, and people don't really take into consideration daily movement, like stuff that you do on a daily basis, like walking, like just walking instead of driving, or doing some gardening, or arranging the furniture around your house. People don't really take those kind of things into consideration. People mainly consider formal exercise as exercise, and not really daily movement. So if we really consider like our ancestors, like talking about our ancestors, they were all, you know, hunter-gatherers. So looking back at our history, we can, you know, we really know that we are actually meant to move. So those back in the day, people were really moving. They were you know, they were always moving their body. They were not living sedentary lives, which clearly shows that we are really meant to move. Like from the beginning of evolution, we have been moving. We have been people have been hunter-gatherers. They've been hunting. They've been collecting food, and after that, the people have been moving from settlement to settlement. You know, really, people have been, you know, moving throughout our history. So when people think about it, when people think about exercise, it's you know, people don't think of, like I said, about formal exercise, but it's actually formal exercise plus your daily movement. So if we talk about like the benefits of exercise, this, you know, is something you could just Google and you could get, and so many articles have proven this. So many scientific articles would you know, really prove these points about the benefits of exercise. So there are definitely, by exercising, there are prominent benefits and also, you know, like hidden benefits. Prominent benefit would be, you know, looking good, because you burn fat, you put on muscle mass, feeling good, like I said. Hidden benefits of exercise would be so many, you know, reduced blood pressure, lowered risk of type 2 diabetes, maintenance of immune function, keeping your bones strong, boosting energy, improves focus and concentration, boosts memory, all those, and, you know, so many brain changing benefits. So mostly, you know, related to your mind. So many benefits related to your mind, and also physical benefits as well. So moving on to the points that I, you know, discussed as to why people don't exercise. Firstly, I talked about, you know, people see it as necessity, but they don't, you know, people see it as necessity, but, you know, they fear judgment. So for something like that, for a person like that, you know, that person clearly wants to work out. So, you know, that person really wants to make a change. That person sees it as a necessity. So that guy could, you know, opt for things like, you know, group classes, personal training, or, you know, just working out with a friend. And you know, but most importantly, really building up that mindset, you know, like building up that mindset of that of, you know, not really caring about what other people think, because, you know, that's like, as a person who would like start working out, it would be something that that a lot of people fear, you know, like intimidation when you go into the gym. A lot of people fear, you know, that you'll be judged. So, you know, really getting over that, really, you know, building that mental power to, you know, not really care what other people are thinking. That would be the number one priority. Then the other reason what I said was about people who, you know, see it as a necessity, but they don't, you know, have enough drive. So this, I would say, is, you know, the second most common reason. So a lot of people would say, you know, that they want to work out. They are like, you know, they want to work out so bad. You know, they want to, you know, like they are, you know, they are really fat, and they want to, you know, they want to look so much better, or, you know, like they are like anxious all the time, and, you know, they want to feel so much better, or they are like so low on self-esteem, like they feel so bad about themselves that they want to feel so much better about themselves. So for those kind of people, you know, they even though they feel like that, they still lack the drive to actually get in there and, you know, actually get some exercise in. For those kind of people, like if we actually talk about like the motivation cycle, the whole motivation cycle, motivation is, you know, something that arises from a need. A need is always something that results in a drive. So if your need is not strong enough, you're not going to have that drive. You're not going to have that drive to actually get it done. If you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to do it. So for those kind of people, you can, you know, opt for, again, you can opt for group sessions or personal training. If group session is not your thing, personal training, yeah. And then you can work out with a friend again, and also get motivation, maybe get motivation through different fitness influencers, different YouTube channels. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll definitely then you will you can get that extra push. You just need that extra push to get going. That if these kind of people really get that need, that actual desire to produce that drive, then these kind of people will actually get get into working out. But if your need is not strong enough, you're not going to do it. Like I said earlier, there is formal exercising, which people normally refer to as exercising, and also just daily movement. So if you're someone who if you're like someone who doesn't want to who doesn't see the necessity to get up in the morning at 6 o'clock and go for a run and do like 100 push-ups every day. If you're not someone who sees a necessity like that, always you can opt for just daily movement. Just do something to just get your body moving. Like if you really as you're talking about this generation also, like we Gen Z, that means like our generation, people born after 2000, those people, I mean these like us, it said that our generation, according to studies, that our generation is the most anxious and the most depressed, if I'm to say it like simply, the most depressed generation. And that would be mostly because of the sedentary life of people. And also it's also proven that of these generations that the physical health is also deteriorating. That's all because of the like sedentary life. Mostly majority would be because of the sedentary life of people, because of the, and that is because of like the technology. You just have a phone, and obviously that also has technology has its positive sides, but when used incorrectly it can be a big harm. So like just because of technology, people have been people are getting into more sedentary lives, not moving enough, and that's where all disease comes in, physical and mental, both. So yeah, make it fit your lifestyle. It doesn't, it depends totally on your necessity. If you're someone who finds the necessity to wake up in the morning and go for a run, do it. If you don't find the necessity to do it, you can always just opt for some kind of daily movement, something that will help yourself moving, like I said. So because after all, we are all humans and we are meant to move. See you all in the next video.